Invocation today will be given by Councilperson Gant and the pledge by Councilperson Justice.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you to lead, guard, and direct us. Help us to be servants for this city and help us to understand and do things for people that spread all over this country. There's so many things going on with this pandemic, and then we have the people that are displaced because of fires and displaced because of hurricanes. It's just a time that we really need guidance. We really pray for our first responders, our police officers. It's a different world. Please put your hand over there. Christ's name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Robin?
Here.
Councilmember Washington?
Here.
Councilmember Justice?
Here.
Councilmember Gant?
Here.
Councilmember Jones? Mayor Willis?
Here. You received in your packet the minutes from the council meeting held on August the 17th of 2020. Any corrections to those minutes? If not, do I have a motion to approve? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So those minutes have been approved. We don't have anything on the old business today, but on the new business,
First thing we need to do is talk about that contract. And I would recommend we go in executive session. We've got a developer, part of that could be affected if we make public the terms of those agreements. And we need to separate ourselves for just a short time.
okay, I have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go into executive session. Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Councilmember Washington?
Yes.
Councilmember Justice?
Yes.
Councilmember Gant?
Yes.
And Mayor Willis?
Yes. Okay, would you say 15 minutes?
Hit the max, yeah. It should take a little.
Roughly 15 minutes, and we'll be back out from the executive session. Okay, council members.
Where's Justin?
Yes.
Please don't ask
So you work still in Montgomery, right? Is this part you can get off the company profile?
No, it's not.
I didn't know, I wondered about that.
It's my understanding.
Oh, yeah, okay. I just didn't, I didn't know. Sure. Education. Education. I said, it's about teachers and education, it's about these teachers.
Wish it was today.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Not that easy.
They need it as duty paper.
I know. That's true.
Wanna make that?
Okay, we've completed the executive session. I'll call our council meeting back to order. Permission to enter into agreements with Russell Corporation and Hometown Special Inc. for an economic development project. Is there a motion to move forward?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second to move forward. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so that permission has been granted. Then item 2, permission to enter into contract with the utilities company for relocations of poles downtown in the Company Street area. Is there a motion to move forward?
We need to-
Have to suspend the rules, I'm sorry. Motion to suspend rules. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion to suspend the rules has a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Councilmember Washington?
Yes.
Councilmember Justice?
Yes.
Councilmember Gant?
Yes.
Mayor Willis?
Okay. Rules having been suspended, ask for a motion for permission to enter into contract with the utilities company for relocation of poles.
So moved.
Thank you for the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that permission too has been granted. Then item 3, approval of changes to the fire truck joint use agreement between the city and the Elmore County Board of Education.
I think you have in your packet, what the Board of Education sent back to us.
What do these mean, Greg?
Where you see the highlighted is just where they've added something.
Okay.
I don't think they struck anything out. It was sort of minor changes. But
Okay, yeah. Anything you saw that stuck out?
I did, it was just sort of adding their name a few times where
So you want approval of this?
I was not an attorney. So
Yeah.
It didn't change anything.
Let me read you real quick. It won't take but 10 seconds. Let's see.
It says that we pay. It says to provide, we pay cost of any repairs and necessary result of the city use of the fire truck. But you don't foresee us using this fire truck in there. do you?
There, part of it was if we needed the truck for something major, that we could get it back temporarily or.
What they did is I wrote this in our favor and they made it equal. So they took the things that I said they're gonna hold us harmless for and they made it, well, we're gonna hold them harmless for the same things. So that we're on equal footing. That's not a problem.
Okay.
These changes look fine to me. And I would have expected to make such changes.
Okay. Having received that information,
I have a question here on, front page there, on section 8 restriction on use, at the bottom down there, Mr. Attorney. It said the fire truck until the Edinburgh County Technical Center has the capacity for storing it inside. There should be time limit on giving them to build a building, maybe 90 days to build a facility to store it, because this will go on for 99 years.
They have broken ground on that building. I don't know what the timeframe is, but, they've actually broken ground on that building. And we have an empty truck bay that we can store it. We're working with them real closely on that. Even to the point of trying to get it to them during the school week and then get it back on the shelf for the weekend, that type of thing. So,
Chief, what I'm saying here is, there needs to be a time limit on here, 90 days or 120 days to give them to build capacity to store. You don't have that in this paragraph on there. That's what I'm asking, it needs to be in there, because if you're gonna store it over here, then you're gonna be back and forth. Well, since they're gonna be using it more, it says the fire truck shall not be kept outdoors and will be housed indoors. It is not when it is not in use. But since we're letting them practically have it for 90% of the time, they need to have a time limit to build and to store the fire truck in. 90 days or 120 days, 4 months, 6 months, or wherever, so they won't be driving the feet on you.
All right, any other discussion on this? We'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion. And we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so that approval has been granted. Need to add an agenda item.
Fire department's requesting to, create a administrative lieutenant position. It would be a full-time position, obviously it would be a lieutenant's pay. You want to go ahead and give your discussion on it?
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what you do, because I think you have a part-time situation.
We basically, as we transitioned from all volunteer, we had a administrative captain, which was a volunteer position that became a part-time position. So over the past 7 or 8 years, it has been a part-time position. The day after the election, I had a resignation in that position, and what we're wanting to do, because the administrative person needs to be here for all 3 shifts, it needs to be a full-time position. So we worked with HR. We were able to reclassify it down from a captain to a lieutenant. So basically we're going from 30 hours a week to 40 hours a week, but we're lowering the pay grade. So the hourly difference we figured was about $3,300, $3,500 a year just in the hourly rate, adding the hours. But you're going to pick up insurance, retirement, that type thing is probably going to increase it. Worst case scenario would be about $15,000 if they took your family coverage and the whole 9 yards. So, that's the.
Greg, is it gonna increase what's in your budget to pay your employees? You know if it's gonna change how much you're getting
How much I'm getting from
from the budget?
From the city.
It'll be net pretty close to neutral. I would say, like I said, it could be 5,000 to, could be 15,000. We were, first option would be to hire from within. So if you've got somebody that's already, got family coverage, then you're not gonna get that hit.
The reason I ask is the way that the personnel policy is set up is the department head has the ability to make those changes. It's when it changes the budget amount that's when you need council approval. So that would be the question. I'll be looking at is, does it change the budget amount? If not, then you would have full authority already to do that, to make that change.
Yeah, that's administrative day-to-day part of your operation, but if it does affect the money, there has to be more money budgeted to cover that. So you don't know exactly what that is at this point.
Yeah, 'cause what we'll do after we get permission would be to advertise and see who applies and conduct the interview process. So till that person's selected, I wouldn't know if that was gonna be somebody getting a promotion or somebody coming from outside or exactly what.
If you go ahead and do it and come back to us when you find the person, and you can approve it if you need to go.
That work?
I am.
Is that okay?
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
Okay, I think that'd be the correct way to handle that. According to, state law, it says the mayor must present a budget to the council for their approval, so you have received your copy of the budget that, Julie has put together. We've gone over this thing numerous times. If you have any additional questions, if you would like to come in and sit down, you can come in twos if you'd like to sit down with Julie. And, that's kind of the way they loaded that arc, wasn't it? But anyhow, we'll do that if you have any questions, and then it'll be back on the agenda for the next meeting. If there's anything we need to work out of there, we can certainly work it out. But, any questions at all on that? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, we stand adjourned.